I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. 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 I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, okay?
Hey, you. Welcome back to I'm Sorry, Okay? A podcast where we are watching so much Degrassi. I'm Mary, here with Paul and LD. And this week we are wrapping up Season 2 of Degrassi Junior High. So let's get into it.
So, like last time, we have superlatives based on categories, and I'm going to start now. Our first category, most responsible adult. Our options are Spike's mom, Caitlin's parents when she needs to take her medication.
And only then.
Yeah. Doris, who watched Phil and noted Kathleen's issues but didn't have cause to do anything that time. Raditch, when he tries to talk to Sad Steph.
Sad stuff.
That was mine.
Jerry, who has bad dog advice, but at least he's trying. And he possibly fixed the sink. And he did offer to look for Arthur when Arthur ran away.
The bar is so low.
And finally, the pregnant teen counselor from Egbert.
For me, I think it's a toss-up between Spike's mom, who consistently just like kills it in the responsibility department, and the counselor who gave us Egbert.
That's
Because
true.
it's her job to be responsible.
Yeah.
Right. How else did she get into that position?
Maybe she was a pregnant teen and she was really just passionate about helping other pregnant teens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I kind of like my man Jerry. You know, it's not really the ideal situation.
Wow.
But
Okay.
you know, he handles it with grace.
Wow, you never like had a parent get remarried, huh?
Nope.
Yeah, it shows.
Okay, well, we're
It
going to move
literally
on.
does not matter how nice your mom's boyfriend is. He's a piece of shit. All right, that's the rule.
Well,
You cannot like him. You can't like Jerry.
but he at least gets the dog, like he brings the dog inside, although he does also hose the dog
No,
down.
he brings the dog through the house, takes him out back, hoses him, doesn't even allow this dog the pleasure or the small luxury of warm water, even room temperature water. This dog is getting groundwater from the hose. And then he gives Arthur just like the worst dog care advice. It's a no from me.
Jerry's out.
He's out.
I also Raditch has his moment, but it's not a big enough moment, I guess, to really, you know, bump him up to most responsible adult. He is just in that moment a responsible adult.
Exactly. This kind of goes back to the whole like stopped clock is right twice a day thing. Like
Yes.
Raditch, if he just sits in that classroom long enough, he's bound to have a moment where he doesn't suck. But I think in order to determine who
Yeah.
is the most responsible adult on Degrassi, I'm really looking for consistency here, man. I'm looking
Mhm.
for someone who day in and day out is just like dishing out the love and the support. And that goes to my main mom, Mama Nelson.
I gotta agree. Yeah, to me, it feels like there's no real question. But, Mary, I appreciate you really doing your best to look out for Jerry.
He's got a lot working against him, but I understand. Jerry also didn't really need to show up to family dinner so soon.
Yeah.
But I kind of blame that more on Mama K. I feel like all the bad parts of the evening were because of like Mama K and like not
All right.
specifically Jerry's fault.
Yeah, it's
true.
not his
He was
fault.
doing his best. Unfortunately, his
Yeah.
best will never be good enough.
Yeah,
because
and
he's
it really can't compare with Spike's mom. I mean, she's just a wonderful and caring mom all the time. And Doris, you know, like Doris is fine, but she's also kind of just like she has to sit there anyway. So is it like being specifically responsible, or is it just like being at your desk?
I think she was merely at her desk because honestly,
Yeah.
she's like a gatekeeper She's like discouraging students from coming in and speaking to their own principles. She doesn't really allow anyone to speak truth to power. She's keeping those kids at arm's length.
Yeah, but in a school full of totally absent administrative adults, Doris was the one shining exception where she was trying to pay attention when
she'd give a
the
little
situation
side
might
eye. Yeah,
require
she was at least aware.
She's also upfront about when she's leaving to go on a date.
Yeah. All right. Then it sounds like it's generally settled. I think we all agree.
Yeah. Spike's mom, she had a lot going on, and she took everything that was thrown at her and she reacted with kindness and compassion.
She also stood up to those snooty, rich, religious people and was like,
"Oh yeah,
paying our own way."
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
We don't need your dirty money.
Your dirty church money.
Get it out of here.
She wanted gambling, right? From like backgammon or whatever. All right. Our best B plot. The options are Arthur and Dr. Sally, Michelle overcoming public speaking anxiety, Alexa's budding polyamory, which causes a fight with Simon, Yick's mystery detentions, Alexa's budding bisexuality with LD and the Sunshine Girls.
Oh.
Joey buying condoms, and Lucy working with kids.
Aw, I like how those two are grouped together at the end there.
If you accidentally have kids, Lucy's gonna end up.
Lucy will take care of them.
Yeah. I mean, a child of Joey Jeremiah's would be a living nightmare at this stage.
Wow. Imagining Joey and Shane's situation is
with Liz.
Bleak. With Liz.
I mean, that's who he thought he was going to be using those condoms on.
Do you want to do it?
I will say I am always here for absolutely any condom buying scene on Degrassi. I love them all. I want like a super cut of them.
And then he also bought like other grocery items to just like throw them off his track, and then he like left the bag of groceries outside of Liz's house when he showed up.
I gotta give it up to Arthur and Dr. Sally. I really loved the Dr. Sally cameo we got in this season. She was killing it. She's a fave.
And
I loved that B plot because it was a Yick and Arthur B plot. It's not wacky. It's not zany. It's just like Arthur has a problem. Yick can't necessarily relate, but he's there for his friend. He's trying to help him. I like that.
Yeah, they're pals.
It's a solid B plot. I think my fave is a little bit of a toss-up. I love Lucy working with kids because I think that's like strong character development for her. But I also think Michelle overcoming public speaking anxiety because that had like a happy ending and she did really well. And after kind of a whole episode of her scheming and trying to get out of it, she went for it. She faced her fear. She did awesome. And I was real proud of her.
Yeah.
But, I mean, are we just gonna, like, pass right over this budding polyamory and bisexuality?
I mean, I'm happy to pass over the polyamory because as I previously stated in the episode where it was featured, I did not appreciate that Alexa hadn't had the conversation with Simon. She just decided to go dance with all those other boys.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, mistakes were made. The budding bisexuality I'm super down to talk about. I love how she is just like magnetically drawn to those like locker boobies.
She sneaks an extra peek.
Yeah, her eyes are wide. She is like a wolf in an old-timey cartoon. She might as well have said auga.
She was one step away from taking her own shoe off and hitting herself in the head with it repeatedly.
Yep, and then she walks outside the school and gets hit with an anvil. God, that is like the third time I've referenced someone getting hit with an anvil this week. That's been coming up a lot in my life.
Okay. All right. I feel like we're really split. I don't know if we're gonna come to a solid definitive.
I feel like Arthur and Dr. Sally has to be the best plot.
I've got a friend who's 12 years old. He gets a lot of wet dreams. Is he a pervert?
Okay. Wonderful. I love this. Next, we have best hair.
Ooh.
First, Caitlin, with her different looks from multiple colors to headbands. Liz, Spike, Erica and Heather, Aaron, or Lucy's scarf headbands.
Just to remind anyone who's listening, Aaron is the guy that both Erica and Heather kissed and thought they got mono from, but didn't.
Aaron did have pretty good hair.
Yeah, he's got a good head of hair.
Wait, did he not just have my haircut?
I think he did have your haircut, basically.
Well,
wow.
I think we know.
I think that settles that. That definitely settles that for me. I know where my vote's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Caitlin's hair, she's got the red in there, but it's not specifically interesting to me. I also she does the headband around the forehead a lot, which is not my favorite headband placement. I prefer Lucy's placement of a big scarf tied in a bow, with her hair. And Lucy's got great hair, but all she really did with it, I guess, was the scarves in her hair, which I'm not knocking, but it's not the most original.
I think with Caitlin, she just always looks like she's a middle-aged woman who's been teleported back to school, like Drew Barrymore in Never Been Kissed. And so I just don't believe her as a genuine teen. Her hair is not cool. Whereas Spike is cool. Her hair is cool. And as we found out on Instagram, it's not just us who think that the fact that she looks like a lady wrestler.
Oh, people loved the Bull Nakano post.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because people love Bull Nakano. She's cool.
But I just feel like Spike is a bit of an obvious option.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she has better hair later.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing what our future options are sort of clouds my judgment in this moment. I'm obviously not voting for Liz.
Liz's hair I think is it's interesting initially, but then throughout the season it starts to grow out and then it really isn't working. That's not a haircut that you can just kind of let go and see what happens. That's a haircut you got to keep trimmed. You got to be regularly going to the barber for that one.
Yeah, man. I found that out about my own haircut during the pandemic. I also cannot simply let mine go. And I went for a long time without a haircut. And I was really looking like season 1 of Gilmore Girls, Max Medina. And it was not a good look. I'm going for Aaron.
Yep. Nope. Once you said that it was the same haircut as yours, I knew what I had to do.
It's also a classic, but it's a classic in the way that it always works.
Yep.
And with the leather jacket, I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. And he was your look of the week that week.
He was.
Well, speaking of looks of the week, our next category is look of the season.
Oh my God. Oh.
Our first option is Scooter, who, according to LD, delivered all season. Dwayne, who did a lot with his singular featured episode. Wheels, with his consistently good looks. Spike's hair game with notable outfits. Rick's preppy look from Bottled Up. And Lucy, who always has a full look going on.
Lucy did serve us the Lucy sweater.
Oh, I do love that. Here's the thing. It's tough because Lucy always looks absolutely sick. You know what I mean? She doesn't have an off day. She is like the USPS, man. She always delivers.
To me, that feels like that makes her a shoe-in for the look of the season. Then, if we're looking season-wide.
But with that consistency comes complacency, is all I'm saying.
Well, for me,
it doesn't make her stand out. Yeah.
There's Lucy looking good again. Whatever. Yeah. It's it's like whenever I have like lox and cream cheese on a really good bagel. This is always good,
It's not gonna not be good.
right? Like,
Yeah.
so it's just kind
Yeah.
of like
Okay.
it's so therefore it's just been relegated to like a pretty just like generic breakfast. It's all I'm saying. Listen, I know that I think Wheels pretty much knocks it out of the park every week, but I'm going for Scooter, man. I loved his just like totally insane two-piece chord thing. I loved there was one where he was in the background and he had a really good wide stripe paired with denim, and each time, as you know, the deck shoes.
So why the fuck are you wearing a pair of deck shoes, man?
Like, why not is the answer.
For me, I got to give it up to Dwayne. We got like multiple looks. He evolved the look within the episode. He's like adding accessories and just like a good like tough guy look. I think it's hard as a like tough guy. I gotta imagine, because I'm not one, I gotta imagine it's hard to like nail that like fine line of like looking like a tough guy but still like looking good. Very specific.
Well, as a tough guy, I can confirm that that is the challenge.
Totally.
Each and every day I wake up and I look at myself in the mirror and I ask, am I a tough guy? And I look at my outfit and I say, no, I'm more of a Scooter.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Scooter. I'm more of a Wheels. Got that like dad running to Costco on Sunday morning to get the 48 roll of toilet paper, like bulk buy kind of situation. You know what I mean? Like Wheels just always looks like he's about to go mow a lawn or he's about to go do some errands.
Or even just read a book, in a good chair.
Yeah, like a good leather armchair.
Yeah.
But not, I don't mean like in a study. I mean, it's like a beat up, like lazy boy in the living room, but he loves it and you can't get rid of it. It's been with him forever. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about Wheels. But Paul, I mean, I've never seen you go as crazy about a look as you did about Dwayne. So obviously your vote has to be with Dwayne.
There's no question.
I mean, it's cool. It's intimidating. He's got accessories. Dwayne's got a lot going on. But for me, Rick's preppy look was just such a delightful surprise. And the fact that he really dressed up to like impress somebody. It's like a date look. I just like, and a classic too, right? And I love that Rick can kind of go between that like tough guy to a preppy look. That's sort of the spectrum on which I'm most comfortable myself. And so I'm going to say that, for me, Rick's preppy look was the look of the season. I feel like it was a look that we all coveted and
That's true.
wished we had for ourselves.
Rick's preppy look took us from like Grease to the Archie comics with like a smoothness that we could not have anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
It was like when you eat a deliciously indulgent cake and you find out it was vegan. You're like, oh, what a treat.
All right. I think we all agree then that Rick's look should take it home.
I'm gonna go with Rick. Yeah, I'll give look of the season to Rick's preppy look.
Hard to turn down my and your LD personal favorites, but I think we gotta acknowledge.
Yeah.
I also think I think Rick's look is one that I think all three of us could feasibly pull off.
I think it's
too.
one we've all won.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So we have to be honest with ourselves here. All right. Wonderful. Next we have Best Feud.
Yes.
All right. First.
Oh yeah, there's
and
so
really,
many.
we get down to it. I think I'd be remiss to not mention Joey and Dwayne.
Yeah.
First, at the top of the list. There's also Scooter and his mystery bully. Alexa versus Stephanie, Liz versus Joey, Mama Nelson versus the McKay family, Yick versus Melanie and Snake at the movie theater, LD versus Joey and the Sunshine Girls, the grade 7s versus the grade 8s in last week's episode past tense, Steph versus Jerry, Steph versus family dinner, Spike versus the PTA, and Heather versus Erica in Sealed with a Kiss.
Ooh.
There are indeed a lot of options.
This
If
one's
we-
really hard
Yeah.
for me.
Mhm.
I think I loved Liz versus Joey because she was shutting down some misogynist bullshit. It was nice to see her stand up for herself. And it was also a grudge that she carried through several episodes, which I
Yeah.
really respected. It filled the void of Vula as her
Mm.
specter loomed over this season. What the fuck?
And no, she had some real intimidation like going on, and she had like really good like dirty looks that she was serving Joey.
But I also love the Alexa versus Stephanie just like making its way through most of the season. Like I really
That is a
like
And
bubbling on the surface.
Alexa doesn't even know she's in this feud. She's totally oblivious to the feud.
That's what makes it so good.
I'm pretty torn. I also really like the Mama Nelson versus the McKay family feud.
Oh yeah.
It's like a good one. Like she's sort of like on her own and sort of like being double teamed by these, kind of gross people.
But she comes out looking like the parent that truly knows their kid, right? Like they get into a disagreement with their son, but like she's on the same page with Spike because they've actually been talking.
Sure.
I also think, we haven't really talked about Heather versus Erica. I think that was just like great sibling feud, and it wasn't just like all about rivalry. It was truly about like their inherent differences, like the fundamentals of what makes them each extremely different from each other, despite the fact that people think of them as being interchangeable.
Well, and also I've forgotten who was on which side of that feud.
Oh, well, Heather was on Heather's side, and Erica was on Erica's side.
Who I think that Erica was the one that first made out with Aaron, right?
Yeah.
Erica's Erica's got a little bit more attitude.
Erica
And Heather is more like other twins spend the rest of their lives together. So why can't we?
She's like, let's go all fucking Grey Gardens on this for life, baby. And Erica's like, absolutely no, thank you. I want to go to different colleges and live on different continents. I'm going to go to Antarctica to get away from you. And Heather is like, let's dress the same. And have only pictures of ourselves in our pictures that we should.
Oh my God.
Also did love LD versus Joey and the Sunshine
Yes.
Girls. If for no other reason than Joey and the Sunshine Girls sounds like an amazing like disco revival.
Totally.
Like,
That's yeah. If Zit Remedy doesn't work out,
Yeah, Joey and the Sunshine Girls will
there
be
you go.
magnifique. Also another feud where Alexa didn't really know why she was part of it.
But she still participated when they
true.
were like, "Oh, look at those pecs. Nice
those
buns."
buns.
Yeah, that was a good feud.
Maybe the feud that I'm most interested in is like LD versus forced heterosexuality.
Not on the list, but sure, yeah, we can add that one.
Her trying to find something nice to say about what a man looks like is the gayest shit we saw all season.
I think I might have to actually give it up to Alexa versus Stephanie. I love a good one-sided feud.
Me too. I also really love when Alexa brings the clothes back and it's like, my mom said these made me look like, what was it? Did you say a woman of the night
Yes.
or something?
Yeah.
Lady of the night.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you there. I'm going with Alexa versus.
It is, yeah, I can get behind that one because it is the longest running feud. If it was like best, or if it was like, never mind, I forgot what I was even gonna say. But like Joey and Dwayne is definitely like the biggest feud of the season. But I like the long, simmering, one-sided tension of Alexa versus Stephanie.
I mean, Alexa versus Stephanie even popped up in the Joey and Dwayne episode.
Yeah.
Right. The walk to the fight date.
Yeah, and Alexa's just super stoked to go see a fight. She loves dances. She
loves dances. She loves a fight. Like, yeah.
Alexa is just legitimately up for whatever, and I love that about her, and I love that for us because we get to just experience her enthusiasm every week.
If we also had a most enthusiastic category, Alexa would be the obvious choice.
Hands down, she'd be the only choice.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, next we have Best Promo.
Oh!
Should I explain what we mean by promo, by the way?
Yeah. Catch anyone
So, but I guess technically by promo, it would be when one person gets so fed up with another person that they just unleash a blistering monologue, airing out all of their grievances, either in a short form manner or it could be a long rant. Basically, a rant directed at an individual. So, best promo. Susie, when Caitlin tries to drop the play.
Look, I'm sorry you got epilepsy, okay? And I'll be there for you anytime, but I'm not gonna cover for you just because you're jealous.
Arthur, telling Stephanie off at the swing set in Dog Days.
Thanks a lot, Steph. We're supposed to be related. I'd help you if I could.
Steph telling Jerry no one cares about his dog story.
No, Arthur, I had a dog once. His name was Ruff. And every time
Who cares?
And Snake, who snaps at Joey in the parking lot.
You did this.
Me? No, I didn't. I was inside with you.
None of this ever would have happened if it wasn't for you and your crazy idea.
So I think for me, it's got to be Snake snapping at Joey. I feel like that's been bubbling up for 2 full seasons. Joey is constantly making decisions for the whole group. He's kind of trying to be the ringleader in what should be kind of a democratic friendship group, which is also a band. He's getting Snake in trouble. He's convinced Snake to do a bunch of stuff he didn't want to do. And the lead up to this is like, not only does he convince Snake they should be able to stay over at his house, but then the entire time he's kind of negging Snake because he won't let Joey drive his parents' car, which is like, of course he won't. You're like 14. And Snake has finally just like had it, and that's my top moment.
They build it up over multiple episodes, but then they even just dedicate like an entire singular episode, because I don't even think there's a B plot in the like car theft episode. But so yeah, they like dedicate a lot of time to building up to Snake getting to this level where he's so fed up with Joey.
Well, and it has that element where it sort of comes out at the time when it's not technically Joey's fault. So for like all the things that Joey is directly responsible for, it comes out after, you know, some person does a hit and run on his parents' car, which yes, it's like Joey's fault that the car is even there, but it's not directly Joey's fault. So I love that element of like, I feel like a good promo comes up exactly like when, you know, there's just all these other times that you wanted to say something and you held your tongue and you just like can't hold back anymore, and the truth just like spills out of you.
Yes, a lot of emotion here. It's going to be hard for me to pass up the who cares.
Okay,
promo
well, me
from
too.
Stephanie.
Yeah, obviously I put that one on there because I just love everything involving Jerry. But like that one has the most like vitriol behind it. That one has the most like
It's
passion.
very cutting.
It's very
yeah.
cutting. It's like brief, but it like really just like squashes Jerry, hits him where it hurts. Got to give it up to Steph.
I mean, Arthur telling Stephanie off in Dog Days is kind of similar to the snake snapping at Joey, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
You know, we've been watching for 2 seasons as Steph just treats Arthur like absolute dirt, you know? And
There's not quite as much fire behind the one with Snake and Joey. I feel like Arthur's more a sad boy promo in that scene.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just sad.
Yeah.
And with Susie and Caitlin, I feel like if Vula had been delivering that one, it maybe would have had, it would have packed more of a punch.
You're just a selfish, seizure-having baby.
A selfish baby.
I mean, Vula is the
Exactly.
promo queen.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah. Shout out to Vula forever.
nothing compares to you.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I believe we have made our decision. Snake snapping at Joey in the parking lot. As
Yes.
Oh,
best
yeah,
promo.
baby.
Snake needed that one. He
Yeah,
kind of gets
give it-
trampled over. He needed one. He needed a
Yeah.
win.
Yeah, he's often just like hitching his wagon to other people, and it's nice to see him have a moment.
And our final category, cutest couple. Our first option, Scooter and Dwayne, Alexa and Simon, Arthur and Phil, the dog, Joey and the Sunshine Girls,
He wishes.
Rick and Kathleen, and LD and Alexa.
So my like honest, my like they're actually a couple pick is obviously Alexa and Simon. I love them together. But I got to give it up for LD and Alexa, baby. We love to see some like baby bisexuality. They're both really coming through in that episode. It starts with LD telling Alexa that she looks great in everything.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
it swiftly moves into them just like looking at some locker bubes, and then
The sexual tension is just in the air at Degrassi.
sorry, I can't get over bubes.
Oh my God, bitch!
Funny every time. I really thought I could get through it. Jesus.
Scooter and Dwayne and Arthur and Phil are really close to my heart with this one.
Okay, but Arthur kind of mistreats Phil.
Yeah, he keeps him in a gym bag, and Scooter and Dwayne. And then it's like I'm stoned, but Ooh. I'm high off of my love for Degrassi, and my love of Scooter, which, like, if I'm honest, was very short-lived with Dwayne. Like, they only were like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Dwayne was only in Scooter's good graces for mere moments before
True.
Scooter was like, you know what, man? You're a motherfucking bully.
Yeah, it was maybe more of a crush. It flamed out pretty quickly once
Yeah.
he got to
Mhm.
know the real Dwayne.
But we're not talking about couple with the best longevity.
That's true.
That's true.
We did not.
We are just
say-
They
talking
are
about the cutest.
Cute. He does spin him around on his shoulders
and lift him up to get
Yeah.
his
Mhm.
to
cheesies.
get his cheesies. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
There's a lot to consider here.
it is pretty cute.
I mean, I know who I'm not
Simon-
picking, and I'm not picking Rick and Kathleen.
Yeah, wait. Who put
Who the
that
fuck
there?
put that on the list?
I put
What?
it in there.
Oh, Jesus
Boo.
Christ, man. Boo.
Terrible.
Just add in a little bit of heat to the cutest couple category.
Wow.
They were tall and small, which is always kind of a cute combination.
Okay.
They bonded over trauma. I don't know if it's cute, but it's
I don't know, man. I read an
Supportive.
article recently, and by article I mean Instagram infographic that said that trauma bonding is not a good foundation for any relationship.
he let her borrow his sweater,
What?
which was also part of the look of the season. I'm
We
just
gotta
saying.
move. No.
I mean, I'm not
no.
fighting for them to win. I just thought they should be considered.
Well, if they're being considered,
You thought wrong.
If they're being considered, then like Caitlin and Rick are being considered.
Yeah, they never even made it onto a date though.
What about Mama Kay and Jerry? I can't believe you're not fighting that corner.
Oh, I forgot to put
Yeah.
them on there. Well, personally, that was the one thing I didn't like about Jerry was that he wanted her to wear a sexy wedding dress.
I mean,
That was my favorite part about Jerry.
Yeah, as we've discussed many times this season, if you've got it, flaunt it. I hope that their save the dates are pamphlets.
Babe, I hope you just look really hot at the wedding.
Yeah,
I just want to be
Perfectly
really
reasonable.
turned on.
I want a
Yeah.
plunging neckline and a backless dress.
Sure.
Middle-aged bride with 2 kids
Why not?
who
And a
hate me.
scrappy dog.
And a Phil. I mean, he's just like the season MVP. I love
Mhm.
Phil,
Mhm,
but I
mhm,
don't think
Yeah.
that Arthur and Phil have like a good relationship. Pretty
mhm.
one-sided.
Okay, good.
Phil is a prisoner of this relationship.
It's legitimately like the sort of personification of if you love something, set it free. Like he cannot care for this dog. Neither of his parents will let him have it. And he ties it up in the basement of his school.
Well,
Adorable.
boiler room. Yeah.
That's what a cute couple
Boiler
does.
room. Yeah, but usually with like consent. And it's like they don't have a safe word.
There must be
just
consent
ties
in the
them up.
boiler room.
Yeah.
Alexa and Simon, I just feel like Simon doesn't really give us that much to work with.
Mhm.
No. I love them as a concept, but I think I love them
Yeah.
as a concept because as the seasons go on, they're like a very good couple. I'm going with LD and Alexa. Final answer.
The hypothetical coupling of LD and Alexa.
They're queer baiting us and they know it.
Love that.
There's
I'll
fan
I'll
fiction about this,
support.
I bet you.
Yeah, I'll support LD and Alexa. Joey and the Sunshine Girls was also one-sided.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Non-consensual. I'm gonna go with Scooter and Dwayne and accept my L
Okay.
of not being in full support,
This
but being the only one.
this could
Well,
be
what
like
if-
a homecoming court situation where you've got multiple couples.
Yeah, or we just
Mhm.
choose a couple, cutest couples.
Oh, love it. Great. And finally, we have In Memoriam, R.I.P. Vula, We Will Miss You, and your nuclear promos.
There's
As we have stated,
very large hole in my heart.
goodbye, Vula.
Bye, babe.
We love you. Bye.
I love that her final technical appearance was just on not even wait.
Answering
it's not called a
machine.
voice. Thank you. I was about to call it a voicemail.
Analog voicemail.
Wow. Was that this season?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
I already forgot who. Oh, yeah, she was friends with Stephanie. I was like, who is Vula even friends with? I've already
Lucy, though,
forgotten.
because
about
that's why.
Yeah,
that's
she was
her.
calling
Oh, and
Lucy.
Lucy.
lured in with Mr. Colby because she's like missing her buddy. And let's just be real, man. If Vula's parents could just see how much Lucy has grown, they wouldn't disapprove of their friendship anymore.
She's working with
Seriously.
kids now.
Yeah.
She's helping out the youths. So how did you guys feel about the season overall?
I think in comparison to season 1, it wasn't as good, if I'm honest. I think that we were introduced to a lot of characters in season 1, and in season 2 I didn't see a ton of growth, or even in the case of someone like Kathleen, it just feels like she's very one note. Even us finding out more about her family life didn't make me feel anything towards her,
Mhm.
Right.
other than just right, but she's still mean. But it didn't go there as much. I think season 1 had some wacky shenanigans, and we had I don't know, just a bit more going on. I'm excited for season 3 personally.
Yeah. For me, I felt like season 2 felt more fluid. It felt like they had already established all the characters, where in season 1, it felt like a little more janky at times because we didn't really know who these people were and what they were up to. But I felt like season 1 reached a more satisfying conclusion, and I don't think we got that in season 2. So it kind of lent itself to feeling, like you were saying, Aldi, just sort of like bleh.
Season 2 ended on that cliffhanger, which is pretty classy.
Sure.
Mhm.
But I also don't care about that cliffhanger.
No.
So
We know too much for
Yeah,
the cliffhanger
exactly.
to be very effective.
yeah,
I
how
think
did you feel?
I felt like season 2 felt less memorable. I think that there were some big moments, like the fight with Joey and Dwayne. I thought that was like a really just solid episode. I thought that Caitlyn had some like interesting episodes and like, you know, like actually like learning and growing. So there's like some things happening, but then we also wasted all this time on like Stephanie like going after Simon just like episode after episode after episode and like just kind of like coming up with these schemes and they don't go anywhere. So it felt like they really wasted a lot of energy on like storylines that just didn't really matter and didn't really go there or go like anywhere. I mean, we also had, you know, like Lucy and like Colby. Like there was a lot of like big things that happened, but then it just felt like in between there was like less kind of going on that like was really interesting or anything.
I remember even just like the first time I watched season 2, I just didn't enjoy it as much as season 1. I guess a lot of things, now that you're like listing them all out though, it's like Colby parts 1 and 2 like
Yeah,
you know,
they
stuff
did
like
they did
depression.
do a lot.
Yeah, they did do a lot, like Kathleen's mom. Like I guess we do get a lot, but maybe it's almost just that like none of it felt like it had like with Kathleen, right? Like we find out about her mom, but then nothing else with her the rest of the season, and so we don't really know what she's up to, how she's doing, how she's handling it. Like, you know, and with Steph, it's like we don't get any resolution on that, and as we know, going into season 3, she doesn't come back, and so it's like, oh, okay, well they introduced this to us. Whereas like with season 1, like we see that like Lucy is really lonely. She's dealing with the stuff with her parents. She shoplifts. And then season 2, some more stuff happens to her, but she's also growing. She's changing. She's like different with her friends. Like, I don't know. I think like maybe it's just for me that we didn't get to check in.
There wasn't a lot of follow-up. Or like even if looking back on Rick, it came up multiple times, you know, that he was like living like with his brother and like the experience he had been through. But with Kathleen, it's just sort of dropped like after that happens. Colby comes up again, but only because he like reappears. So it just like it's like they would do this big moment, but then what was the larger purpose of it? They wouldn't really do anything with it. So they're just like, they kind of like squandered some of like those storylines. But also in general, I feel like season 3 of any show is kind of where they tend to find their flow if they're going to. And it's usually like if I'm like unsure about getting through something, I'll usually be like, all right, I'm going to stick it out to like season 3 and then like, you know, see how I feel about something. Because that's usually when you get a good feel for like what is this show going to be.
Love a season 3.
I know season 1, you're getting through it. Season 2, it's like starting to pick up, and then season 3, it's like, okay, this is the universe has been built, kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe like season 3, we're looking at some more solid storylines, and I guess we are following a lot of these students through to high school, so we'll get to know them better. I mean, we got to know Michelle in this season, which was good. We also we didn't really know Alexa in season 1. Alexa was kind of
right. She was like a background character. And just with them, you know, with some of the students being in like grade 9, it's gonna add more complexity to the storylines.
Yeah, definitely.
You can listen to I'm Sorry Okay, a Degrassi podcast on Acast, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you enjoy what we're doing here at I'm Sorry Okay, be sure to give us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. Thanks for listening to our recap of Season 2. We'll be taking a break next week, and be sure to tune in 2 weeks from now when we start our review of Degrassi Junior High Season 3.